Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. Chelsea have an Erling Haaland bid rejected by Borussia Dortmund. This is a story that's been floating around today. However, two credible sources coming out and saying that's not the case. Fabrizio Romano has said Borussia Dortmund have not received any official bid yet for Haaland, yet. Dortmund know about Chelsea's interest. Their position is clear. If a crazy bid won't arrive, he will stay. However, if Haaland stays, the race will open up to many clubs next summer with a 75 million release clause. So interesting what Fabrizio Romano is saying is that as of now, there is no bid for Chelsea officially for Dortmund. But what we do know is that that Chelsea do want him. And then Simon Stone of the BBC has said told no official bid from Chelsea for Haaland, but even if they did bid, would be wasting their time as Dortmund have got no interest in selling. So a bit of a development on the story there. Romano saying no official bid yet, but it will take a big bid for it to happen. Simon Stone saying that Dortmund have not had a bid, and even if they get a bid, they will reject it out of hand. I disagree. I disagree on that. If you're a Chelsea fan, I think Chelsea show people how to act in the transfer market. And I think if Chelsea want Haaland, they'll have definitely spoken to Raiola. They'll have definitely spoken to Haaland. And I'm sure there's a willingness from Haaland to come to Chelsea. But it's probably along the lines of, go and deal with Dortmund. I'll come, but go and deal with Dortmund because I'm happy to stay here for another year and get very rich next summer when my release clause is 75 million. And basically, people will be able to buy Haaland for 65 million pounds. 75 million euros is about 65 million pounds. Bloody Spurs could bid that. So everybody can bid for Haaland next season because you're getting a bargain. You're getting a £150 million striker for 65 million. And I suppose that's the issue with Chelsea and Man City this summer. They both want a top-class striker. But to get the top-class striker, whether it's Harry Kane or Erling Haaland, to get that striker, you're going to have to spend huge amounts of money to do it. And in Chelsea's case, Erling Haaland, well, look, Chelsea with Haaland probably are very major title contenders next season. They're already Champions League holders, so I can't say that. Very major title contenders with Erling Haaland. Do you spend £150 million, a package of probably £200 million when you've paid Mino Raiola? Do you spend like that £150 to £200 million to get Erling Haaland? Or do you wait for a year and get into the, battle to get a player that everyone's going to bid with? And maybe Haaland doesn't fancy Chelsea in a year. Maybe he fancies Real Madrid, or maybe he fancies PSG, or maybe he fancies Juventus. Maybe he fancies Manchester United or Manchester City. So for Chelsea, I can sort of see them putting a proper bid in, because I think that people would go, well, why would you spend 150 million when you can get him for 65 in a year's time? But it won't just be 65 in a year's time. Raiola will want a huge amount. Haaland will want a lot as a signing on fee as well. So I think for Chelsea, if they've got the 150 million, it's worth it getting Haaland at their club for the next 3 years than not getting him at all. And I do think that Erling Haaland would fit Tuchel and Chelsea like a glove. He's quick, he's decent on the ball. They do play and want to play counter-attacking football, and they definitely miss a number 9 that will score loads of goals. I think Erling Haaland, for Chelsea, it's basically, if you get Erling Haaland, you probably win the league. It's that big a decision, and I'm not disrespecting Man City or any other title contender, but adding Haaland to that Chelsea side probably makes you league winners. So I don't think this is the end of the road for this. No official bid for Haaland yet, but that doesn't mean that a bid's not going to come in, and certainly there's a lot of noise around Haaland to Chelsea, and I do think that Chelsea will do. United won't do anything. I do think Chelsea will push this as far as they can before it becomes impossible. As a United fan, the reason I said United is I've seen United deal with Sancho and Dortmund for over a year and basically be put in the corner, basically be treated like we are, not as powerful as they are. And if this was United knocking on the door for Haaland, I would just say no chance. Don't bother wasting your energy knocking that door. But with Chelsea, United deal a year on Sancho and get it done. Imagine if Chelsea just go, and look, Dortmund wanted to sell Sancho. They just wanted the right price. Imagine if Chelsea go knocking on, well, they don't even knock on the door, they just kick the door down and take Haaland. And Dortmund are like, oh my God, we didn't even want to let him go. So that's what would happen. That's what you're talking about here. It's not even Dortmund wanting to sell and playing games for a higher price. This is Dortmund not wanting to sell at all. They don't want to sell. But then again, flip it the other way. Dortmund, in a year's time, know they'll only get 65 million for Haaland. They could get 100 million now. So everyone talking about 150 million and that's great for Dortmund. But in a year's time, you're only going to get 65 million because of the release clause. So maybe there is a bid there. Maybe 100 million to test the water, and they go no, and then you go, what do you want? And then they'll name a price. So it'd be interesting. I think Chelsea with Haaland, it's heaven sent in footballing terms. It makes a lot of sense, and I think Chelsea will have the money. It just depends what else Chelsea are going to do. Chelsea have been very quiet so far. What are Chelsea going to do? There's been mention of Tchouaméni from Monaco. There's mention of Declan Rice. Erling Haaland's not been playing in the Euros. What are Chelsea waiting to do? I don't think we've seen the end of this. And whether it ends up with Dortmund staying, Haaland staying at Dortmund, or Chelsea getting him, I think there's going to be a push. I think there is going to be a push, and it's going to be very interesting to see. But as of yet, no official bid. Let's see what's going to happen. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. I'll speak to you all very soon.